Okay. Okay. Here we're doing a Back to Bandav special interview, and we are interviewing Malini Dasi, who is a dancer.
Hare Krishna. Yes, I'm a Bharatanatyam dancer, and I'm going to talk about mudras or hastas. So,
Hasta?
hasta, it's a South Indian word for mudra. Mudra is the Sanskrit. And basically a mudra is a hand gesture, and it can have aesthetic purposes, just for dance, for beauty, but they all have secret meanings. That's what the gopis use them for. They also have general meanings, and then they have deeper meanings and multiple meanings. So we're going to just go over a few of them.
Don't yogis use them as well?
Yes, yogis use them, pujaris use certain mudras. Mudras are everywhere. Even politicians have mudras, secret societies have their own mudras. Mudras are, it's a way of communication, secret language. You got to know the language to understand it, so.
Okay, so what are you going to show us?
Okay, we will start with this one. Okay, this is Hansasya. Okay, Hansasya.
Okay.
Now it's used in many different ways. One way is for jewelry. So when you're putting something on, you're using these two, putting them on.
So you're supposed to use a mudra when you put your jewelry on?
When you're dancing, you don't have props. For example, when you're dancing, you don't have props, right? So you have to use your hands to create objects and to create action, to talk about different action, different places. If you're talking about a place over there, there's a place.
Yeah, got it.
You know?
That's the mudra for over there?
Yes, but it's also the mudra for a flower. It's also a flower.
Okay.
So.
Didn't Gurudev do that one a lot? He's always going like this.
This is also a natural, just expressive movement that means how is it possible, or how beautiful is Krishna? This is like a amazement. It's natural. Like mudras can have natural. I don't know. You just start to feel what they mean naturally. Yeah, it's kind of actually in dance. We also have many head movements that are structured. There's this one, there's this one, there's this one, there's so many, and this one. Anyways.
And can the mudras use your whole body? Because I've seen one mudra where you go like this. Is that?
That is a whole movement.
Right, okay.
So mudra is included in the movement. But when you use your whole body, mudra is just the hands. There's also single hands, and then there's double hand mudra. So we'll go over some double hand mudras. This is fun. This is Anjalisha, of course, pranams. Then we have Matsya. This is a fun one. This is Matsya, the fish. And then this is Kurma.
Wow, that was tricky.
See,
You got that?
it looks like a little turtle. The hands and the feet, the legs,
okay.
Swimming in the... So, Kurma. This is Varaha. You can see from the side, these are his tusks, and these are his ears. Varaha.
So you have one mudra for all the...
Garuda, or any bird. This is Garuda, or any bird.
Okay.
And then, what are some...
Varahadev?
I just gave Varaha. This is Varaha.
Vamanadev.
Vamanadev is actually a movement.
Okay.
I'd have to stand up, but basically you're holding an umbrella, and you're blessing Bali Maharaj, and you're putting your foot on his head.
Okay.
You're lifting your foot as if it's on his head. So all the incarnations, Krishna himself, all the demigods, they have their own way of representing them through hands.
What's Mahaprabhu?
Mahaprabhu is arms upraised like a devotee. He is a bhakta, so he doesn't have a specific mudra more than that. Krishna, of course, has his flute, and there's different variations with his peacock feather,
Radharani?
Radharani also, the goddesses have less mudras. The basic one is this one.
That's Radharani's mudra?
This is holding, it's also Lakshmi, it's also Parvati, it's a female goddess.
Do it again.
It's basically holding a veil. You're holding, I'm not, you don't do that, but just to show you that it's like as if I'm holding my veil.
Okay.
It's a complicated mudra. It's like this.
Wow, okay.
So you're holding it, and then, yeah, it's like this. I can show on this side, this is the mudra. And then so you would hold it here, and you would have your other hand in dolasta, which is just a relaxed hand. It's a very
That's what girls do when they walk around. They always like this.
Exactly. feel nothing. Whereas men, when we portray men, we put our hands on our just below our waists to show like stature and prowess. But for women, we use this hand to show that grace.
So women naturally just do that mudra, even in America?
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, it's true. Everywhere.
What about thumbs up?
Thumbs up. That this is actually, if you put your hand here and you put a thumbs up, this is a Shiva Linga. This is a Shiva Linga. Also, you can use this to make tilak. Like if I'm looking at a mirror and I'm putting tilak with my thumb. That's another way to use it. That's sassy. That's natural. We all do that when we're sassy.
Is that a Sanskrit word?
No, it's not. But just man or any kind of Lalita's mood. What is it? Not Dakshin Bhav and the left side mood, leftist, rightist mood. Anyhow, so these are, because these are all natural emotions, actually, that are being exhibited through movement and dance. In the spiritual world, every word is a song, every step is a dance. So these are natural emotions being exhibited through hands. And then they've come down to us. And we learn them in a structured way, but ultimately, it's going to be natural, not so dancer. It'll be more from Bhav.
Okay. And if you're not a dancer, you're just an ordinary devotee, how do you incorporate these mudras into your devotional life?
That's
or should you?
It's kind of more of a fun thing to know, especially when you're watching classical dance, who are talking about, like, for example, the Odissi dancers, the Devadasis who dance for Lord Jagannath. You won't really understand what they're dancing if you don't understand some hands, because when they show Jagannath, they're doing this. This is Jagannath. His square arms, and this is a symbol of Narayan. So you have his two hands, like the ring fingers down. This is Tripataka.
That's Narayan's symbol.
Yeah, one of Narayan's symbols. So that they'll do that movement, or they'll also hold it. That's another way of doing it. But that you won't know who that is if you don't see that. So it's more of a helpful cultural thing to know. In terms of spiritual life, is it helpful? Only if you look at the Vaishnavas and look carefully at their hands, they're always telling things through their hands. Gurudev always. I remember when I took initiation, he completely went right into Krishna's flute mudra. He was saying Krishna is so sweet and so merciful. He was showing us all of this.
Was he like really doing the mudra? Was it like really doing the mudra, or it was just kind of like just?
No, he was. It's not going to be like I said, structured, but he was doing the mudra. And even I see Vaishnavas with their eyes, because eyes is even more potent of what you can express. So if you look carefully at their expressions, they're all dancer expressions. They're actually all from spiritual world expressions.
So
tricky language. It's tricky language.
So a facial expression is a mudra, or it's
not a mudra? It's just another way of communicating, just like a mudra.
Does it have a name?
Abhinaya. Abhinaya is facial expression. It depends what emotion. There's some structured ones, like if you're angry, you would put your hand up and, your eyebrows up and your eyes open. That's an obvious one. But those are very exaggerated for dance. But, and, if you're sad, obviously your eyebrows would go in and you would just close your eyes more and just for sadness. Forehead? Furrowed. Yeah.
That's to confuse the foreigners. Furrowed. You can Google that word.
So like that, there's, different emotions, but naturally it comes. My dance teacher said, I don't like teaching Abhinaya. I don't like teaching because it's something that comes naturally from the heart. Okay. And all she would do is correct to say, well, what you're trying to say through your face is not coming across. She would say that. Okay. You need to be more this, more that, or what are you thinking in your mind? Because automatically what we're thinking is on our face, always. Okay. So when you really understand what the lila is, or you're meditating on it and really trying to pray and feel those feelings, automatically it'll come in the face and automatically the audience will understand. So that's what hastas are for, abhinaya, movement, all of that is to whatever is in your heart or what you're trying to express, the audience is experiencing and relishing. In dance, they call this bhav and ras. Like the dancer has a certain emotion or bhav, she's expressing, the audience is receiving and understanding and relishing. This is the ras, the audience and the dancer.
So the audience, the relationship between the audience and the dancer is the ras.
Yeah.
And
Exchange of understanding and experiencing what they feel.
so the exchange is the ras, and the emotion that the dancer has is the bhav.
Yeah, yeah. This is how we've been taught about.
Like in Vedic culture, these performances go on for a long time. Sometimes the audience is sitting for 1 day and a half or something. So the audiences are very sophisticatedly connected to ras or all of this.
Well, it's a cultural thing that before any TV or film or anything, people would watch the whole entire Ramayana for 7 days, and they would do the drama very slowly with all the details that are in Shastra, from Ram one day just putting kusha grass down to sit down, like all the details that are described, they would explain. And it was their entertainment. And yes, you just naturally, culturally pick up on all the hand movements. Not just entertainment, but it initially is like that. But of course it's a spiritual, it's joyous. You can see all these pastimes and remember them. It's a way of Udipan to kind of remember these things and think about them and cry together and experience that. And that's why as an audience it's more powerful with a group.
And how did you learn all this?
My dance teacher.
Who's your dance teacher?
Her name is Vijay Prakash, and she's based in Los Angeles. She's from India. And actually she's been dancing for the devotees for over 35 years. She came to ISKCON in the 70s, and she started dancing for them. She's not a devotee, she's Hindu, but anyhow, she's been dancing for the Rath Yatra every year and Janmashtami, and that's how I knew her. So I took her guidance.
So you learned when you were a child?
Actually, I learned later. I was always around it when I was a child, though. Yeah.
Teenager, child.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Any other mudras? Let's see.
Well, we missed Ramchandra, didn't we?
Oh, that's a standing one also. Yeah. Well, a bow, that's another one. You can do that when you're shooting a bow.
Okay.
But for Ramchandra, it's actually this one. We're also using the same hasta. This is the top of the bow, and this is his string that he's pulling. It's just to show and you have to stand tall. My dance teacher always says, make this really high, because Ram is very tall. You shouldn't be short. Especially we have short dancers, so we don't want to look
Taller than Sita.
Yeah. So you would put your hand really tall.
Parashuram?
Parshuram, you show the twice-born, because he's killing the twice-born. So you put your two out and your hand like this. This is a sword or any kind of sharp weapon. So you're killing, and this is the twice-born. You're killing the Kshatriyas.
Wow, okay.
That's his pronoun.
Buddha?
Buddha is this hasta. You see a lot of religious people kind of do this hasta, this mudra. And you just put both of them here in meditation, or you can also put them out like this. Or you can also put them like this. There's a few different ways you can show it, but it's the same mudra. This is like a dhyan hasta, like a meditative yogi hasta mudra.
Who else did we miss? Baladev, wasn't it? Baladev.
Baladev is like Krishna, so there's not too much. I actually don't know. I've asked my dance teacher, and she's like, I'm not really sure.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, the mystery.
Yeah.
The mystery.
But one way she showed, I know, Baladev, this is his thing. Guru
Tattva.
is always hiding from everyone. But
does he have one for his Haliyud?
Well, what they do is, I think one is they show that he's Vishnu Tattva. They show that mudra, and then they show the mace, the club. That's the only way I've seen it, but it's not an official way that I haven't officially been told how Balaram's presented. Maybe I need to invent it, make it a...
Yeah, you could start the new parampara.
Delve into secret things like gopis, the gopis, mudras having to do with the gopis.
This is only Gurudev's speciality, and really only someone who's a real manjari can actually reveal these things. But there are basic things to show what a gopi is. Of course, holding a pot on the head. Again, Ala Padma, the same flower mudra, can also be a pot, holding a pot. You can also hold the pot here. That's another one. And just, it's all about the walk and the whole character, but not... Oh, I'm sure he did. He also talked about many stories about how the gopis would show a little sign with a flower or their hand, and Krishna would know what time they're going to meet and where, just from that. And when the gopis would do rangoli on the floor of Nanda Bhavan and have in the rangoli, they're telling secrets of where where should we meet, what do you want to eat, and he would give symbols on the rangoli to tell them what he wanted. So this is all secret stuff. Really only a realized soul can reveal fully this, but we have some knowledge about the basics. It is cool.
Sorry, just last one. Kalki?
Kalki. Okay, I'd have to stand up for this one.
Go on then.
Yeah? Okay, I'll show this. Basically, he's on a horse.
Yeah.
So you have your leg up. And this is a sword. And this is time, because he's coming at the end for before devastation. He's coming. So he hasn't come yet, basically. So this is Kalki.
It's not like, does he kill?
He can kill eventually, but that's just a pronoun that shows that's him.
Okay.
That's like who he is.
So the mudra is a pronoun.
Mudras, okay, I'll tell you what mudra is just to sum it up. Mudras are hand gestures. They can be single or double hand gestures. They can be used only for aesthetic purposes, for dance, like when I'm doing this or things like that. This is just pretty. They can also have meaning, like the same movement, I can do this, look. And they can also they can be pronouns.
No, just like that concept, like one mudra, it signifies that person.
Yeah, and in a certain movement. Exactly.
Shiva?
This is Shiva. Nataraj.
Lord Brahma?
Brahma is 4 heads, and you just go like this. You show that he has 4 heads. 4 heads. The 4-headed Brahma. Indra. This is a symbol for king also. So he's the king of the heavens. King of kings. There's a lot.
You got all that? You done?
This got me very intrigued, very interested.
Cool.
As a way of teaching Krishna consciousness. As a way of teaching Krishna consciousness, it's a very intriguing way of demonstrating or explaining. Because anyway.
Okay.
I'm sure a lot of people are not familiar with all of these names that we're using.
How many mudras are there?
I think there's about 70 or 80. I'm not actually sure about the number exactly.
Right, so there's like an official set.
I can sing it. You want to know the single ones? Pataka, Tripataka, Ardha Pataka, Kartari Mukha, Mayurakya, Ardha Chandrasya, Arala, Shukatundaka, Mushtishya, Shikarakasya, Kapita, Kataka Suchi, Chandrakala, Padmakosha, Sarpa Sirastata, Mriga Sirsa, Simhamuka, Kangula, Alapadmakaha, Chaturo, Brahmaraschevya. I think I made a mistake. Anyways, Hansasya, Hansapaksakaha, Spandamso Mukulaschevya, Tamrachura Trishulakaha. That's all the single ones. And then there's the double ones like Anjalisha Kapotascha, Karkata Swastikas Tataha, Dolasta, Pushpaputta, Hastanga, Shivalinga Kaha, Matsya Kurma Varahascha, Garuda Nagabandakaha. And then there's more. That's just, I don't remember all of them by heart. I should. I forgot, I'm a little rusty.
So like Tai Chi. What do they call it? The forms that you learn
Yeah.
in Tai Chi? No, I mean like...
Do you also do martial arts? Do you?
I do. I do. I was a black belt, but then I
That's karate, that's Japanese, right? You don't do Indian martial arts.
no, Japanese.
But it does cross over, doesn't it?
I'm sure it does somewhere. Everything comes from the Vedas in some way. It's just evolved and changed over time.
Actually, they discovered there was a 7,000-year-old temple. 7,000-year-old temple in South India in the 90s, and they were moving a large structure that they thought was heavy and solid. Turns out it was empty. Not empty, but it was hollow, and it had all these ancient Vedic scriptures in there, and half of them had to do with herbology, half of them had to do with martial arts.
There you go. There you go. Thank you.
The knowledge is endless, but the main point is to use it in a way that we can actually attain bhakti. Don't get too distracted.
And to chant Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna!
Okay, thank you very much, Didi. Oh, she's just run away. She ran away. Just enough. She's gone. And this is Back to Bandav, over and out.